What are we doing? Are we going out the door? Steve, you want to show us the way? Not in very much of a hurry today, are you? I have to carry Rex. Doctor's orders. Yeah. Steve, you needing a little belly rub? Start your day? Sure. T-Rex doesn't need any motivation. He's just going. It's freezing outside. 32 degrees at 9:24. Yeah, we slept in a little bit. And plus there's so much weather. Why do you have to go that way and get tangled up? Let's not do that today, Steve. Let's just go this way. All right, so I can focus on the weather. First, let's check the ice in the bucket. It's not that solid. It's just barely freezing. Oh yeah, it is kind of solid. I don't think we're going to be having water in this thing for about a week until it rains next week or so. Steve needs more belly rub. You come on, Steve. You come on. You come on. Let's go. Come on. Walking the cat. Who walks their cat every morning? Who goes out the door and does weather and more with a dog and a cat? Alto cumulus and blue sky, and the wind is from the west, which is best. There's some frost in the grass, but I think that might be left over from yesterday. I don't think it ever melted yesterday. It was a cold day yesterday. Now, technically, we're getting warmer air advection. This wind from the west pushes the temperature back up into the low 40s today and tomorrow. The surface map shows a low pressure over Lake Huron, another low over the Gulf of Mexico. A week ago, it looked like those two things were going to merge for a major storm here on the East Coast today and tomorrow. But instead, that's going offshore. And the front's going to come through tomorrow night. So we're actually on the warmer side of the front here in southern New England anyway, through later tomorrow afternoon. And there goes the front and that low off to the south and east. Take a look at the satellite picture this morning. A lot of clouds on there. Parade of storms coming from the Pacific to the Atlantic. Massive storm there in the eastern Pacific. And anyhow, another low is going off the southeast coast, and that's going to really intensify rapidly on the heels of one that's going out there right now. So if you look at the Ocean Prediction Center forecast map, it shows hurricane force and developing hurricane force. Low pressure over the next 2 days. That's a parade of storms. You want to see them in the form of wind speeds, sustained wind. And the red is 30 knots and the yellow is 50 knots. There goes one off. And then another. And look at that, 966 low. That's the hurricane force. And another miss. And then here comes our weekend storm. That one's coming right up to southern New England and sitting just south of us with little waves on the front. 995 or so with a 1021 high to the north. That means wind at our coasts could be 30 knots for a time before that storm moves east and then southeast. That storm's not taking off to the northeast. It takes off to the east and the southeast. And when those storms stay south of our latitude, often it snows a little longer than in storms that just race off to the northeast. Talk more about it as we get closer to the weekend, but really fascinating. So there's no doubt about a weekend storm. It's Wednesday. It's time to make the call. What's going to happen this weekend? In my backyard. Everyone wants to know their own backyard. Well, this is my backyard, and in my backyard, temperature's going to kind of fall off a cliff here late tomorrow. And Friday morning, tomorrow night and Friday morning, it's windy and cold with a temperature in the teens here ahead of the storm. And high pressure goes off to our south. And then a backdoor cold front's going to come in here Saturday night ahead of the storm. Here's what it looks like on the 48 contiguous. It's very subtle, but you can see one front kind of coming through here tomorrow and offshore, and then there goes the storm, and then high pressure's off to our south. So if high pressure's off to our southwest, how can we have a snowstorm? Well, watch southeastern Canada and see that tight packing of the black lines. That's another front, a backdoor cold front with high pressure building over southeastern Canada ahead of the weekend storm. New cold is arriving from the north and the northeast. So once again, here in my backyard, I think snow is going to be developing Saturday midnight, and it's going to be raging. You know what? I shouldn't say snow. I should say snow or rain, because the water temperature is 43 degrees and the wind's going to be from the east. It's Cardinal. I haven't put any seed in the feeder yet, so Cardinal's wondering, where's my breakfast? Anyhow, Snow and or rain is going to begin here on midnight on Saturday, and it's going to rage all day Sunday until about maybe 4 or 5 in the afternoon. It will start to diminish, and because that storm takes off to the east and southeast, it may try and keep snowing here a little longer than we might think. So instead of having maybe a 12 to 16 hour storm, I think we're looking at more of a 16 to 20 hour storm. So if we just call it 18 hours times 1/2 to 1 inch of snow per hour, that gets us to about 10 to 14 inches of snow. So we'll just go with about a Steve worth of snow around here if it stays all snow. But you know what? Even if it doesn't stay all snow, it's going to be a nasty storm. Your worst weather actually is going to be near the rain-snow line, because that's where you're going to have the heaviest, thickest amount of accretion of whatever falls, slush, refreezing. And look what the Euro does to the temperature in Boston on Sunday night. That red line goes down. It's calling for 7 degrees in Boston on Monday morning. Yeah, there's a slight chance of refreeze. Now, the Euro has often overdone these low temperatures, so I don't think it's going to be 7, but it could be about 10 to 15 degrees here Sunday night. So anything's going to refreeze. Ed on Cape Cod wants to know, am I going to have to plow in the Mid-Cape and the Bass River area? Yeah, Ed, cancel your trip and stay around and plow. I don't know. The Cape Cod, Bass River area is right on that rain-snow line. You may get, say, 6 inches of snow at the canal and 2 inches in Chatham, something like that, with an inch of rain mixed in there. And it's going to go, probably rain to snow to mix, back to snow before it ends on Cape Cod. And then the northern extent of this storm is probably going to be somewhere around Concord, New Hampshire or so. I don't think we're going to get much in the ski areas, except for with this cold front that's coming in tonight and tomorrow. There's going to be some snow showers. This morning we have freezing drizzle over Lake Ontario. I hope that doesn't happen. The cold is not rushing in here, and that's one of the reasons we're missing our Thursday storm, because that front is lagging behind. But it's going to turn very cold and dry after a few inches of snow in far northern Vermont. I think I went for 8 at Jay. Yeah, I did, because Jay is a different space. It's special. Oh, we got a work boat coming through here. That's a nice looking boat, huh? And I think that could be one of those robotic, bluefin robotic boats. They have these submersibles. So on the back of that boat is a yellow submarine. It's an unmanned submersible, and these things can go down thousands of feet in the ocean. So say if there's a wreck or something, or a plane, or they have to dive down a mile under the ocean, they can send one of these submersibles down there. So it's really fascinating that these things go by the house all the time. There it is, that yellow thing right there. So lots of action around here. And that skiff, oh my goodness, that skiff, where'd it go? It's right there. The skiff keeps coming and going. It's underwater, then it's not underwater. Doug Kent told me that could be because the chain is kind of wrapping around the mooring line, and sometimes it gets dragged down with the water comes up. The boat stays at that level and the water goes over it. Anyhow, did I get sidetracked? Which I always do, because this is not just weather, it's weather and more. So there's potential, if this stays snow, for that area right there, the whole gut, to be experiencing blizzard conditions midday Sunday due to that high pressure system over southeastern Canada. Wind is air moving from high to low. It's a strong high and it's a fairly strong low, even though at upper levels there's not a lot of support for a big storm here. The lower level dynamics and subtle mid-level dynamics are enough to generate probably the heaviest snow we've seen in eastern Massachusetts down all the way to New York City in a couple of winters, maybe 3 winters for New York City and 2 winters for us. So it's an I-90 storm, and there's another one next week that may try and bring us all rain and melting weather. But the North Atlantic oscillation has turned very negative. That's one of the reasons this storm taking off tomorrow is going to move Sunday. It's going to take off east-southeast, and the storms are all lined up with Greenland blocking. Cold is going to definitely put up a fight ahead of this monstrous-looking storm coming up to the eastern and central United States next Tuesday into Wednesday. What a mess that is going to be. So Here we are with a Wednesday beauty, and you know my old rule about Wednesday beauty, watch out for the weekend. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen, all right. So I'm just kind of laying the groundwork all over the place here. We have a couple more days to really fine tune it, and there will be fine tuning, but confidence level is fairly high for at least an inland southern New England snowstorm this weekend and a major mess next Tuesday, Wednesday. So be ironing out the details, calling the play-by-play as we go forward. Yesterday, what did we do? We went for a walk up Great Hill. Saw you. Hey, Lori. I saw Lori Thomas at the store, and great fan. Thanks for watching, Lori. Somebody asked where Steve got his name. He was named after Steve Prefontaine because he was really fast. Where'd T-Rex get his name? Well, isn't that obvious? His front legs are like 3 inches tall, and his head was so massive when he was a baby. And Mitt just plain has huge mitts and paws. That's the rough estimate on the story. And I love the comments. Thanks for the comments. And what else? I'll take your questions on your backyard snowfall prediction over the next 2 days. We'll be here. We're not going anywhere. We're 24/7, 365. Yesterday, after that walk with T-Rex later in the evening, congratulations, Mayor Hedlund. Bob Hedlund sworn in for another term as the mayor in town, doing a fabulous job, and really a great crew you're surrounded by, and that was a really fun event. So good to see everybody there, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Our little glacier is smaller this week than last week, and we've got some new compost on the path. Carrots and strawberries and some lettuce. Not sure where it comes from, but it happens every other day. Gorgeous day, sunshine, blue sky. Frost slow to melt today. There's somebody up in the path up there. Probably wondering what I'm doing up in the path down here. A couple of freshly uprooted trees. I haven't been up here since that storm 2 weeks ago yesterday, Monday the 18th. A lot of places still feeling that one. Quiet week until Saturday, and then the storms are all lined up again. But between the storms, it's been so nice with the peaceful light winds and finally a full blue sky. Haven't seen this since, I don't know, a couple weeks since we've had full blue sky. So the town took down a bunch of trees here to improve our view, which was really nice. But guess what? Look at that. This is how much grew back from that old trunk. It's already about 10 feet tall. So 10 feet in 7 or 8 months. So what's that, 20, 30 feet in just a couple of years? Have to keep coming back, doing it over and over and over. I don't know. And it started raining in late May. I said, oh, well, it looks like we'll have green grass for June. Then it rained even harder. I said, oh, it looks like we'll have green grass for July. And it kept raining, said green grass in August. Oh, and that kept raining, green grass in September, and October, and November, and December, and January. This is probably the thickest, greenest grass I've seen the first week of January since I've been keeping track of January grass. Hey, fertilizing it. Oh, he's getting better. His leg is better. Shouldn't be allowing him to run around, though. Slow down. I don't think I've seen a cloud in the sky today. Perfect blue sky. Glassy water again. And that dinghy is gone again. It appeared, and now it's disappeared. Underneath the surface of the water? I don't get it. Unless they pulled it in over there? No, that's not it. It sunk again. Wow. Maybe a little ice in the water tonight? Maybe, if the wind stays down. We'll see. All right. Not much more for today. Plenty of storm tracking, but trying to enjoy a little peace and quiet for a few minutes. Wow, that low sun seems like it's always in your eyes, and it's annoying, except for right this second. The sun shining through that ornament on, how long do we keep our Christmas trees up anyway?
When we get brown.
The one isn't gonna get brown. Anyhow, that's beautiful. You got some views there, Doug.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
This new radio station is kind of cool. It's old school. What do you got there, Doug? What's in that bag?
You'll never believe it.
Come on.
Camera. Camera.
Now, do you suppose that you've ever developed any of the films on any of these cameras?
I suppose not.
Because you have to send the camera in to get them developed.
I suppose so.
36, 36, 72. Oh, there's about 500 pictures in there.
Yep.
If this camera could talk,
Yep.
what story would it tell?
I have not a clue.
Wow.
Not a clue.
I wonder if the mail-in address is still the same.
Well, the issue now is to find someplace, some lab
A lab.
that's still doing photography off little Kodak throwaways. Of what year, might you ask? Not really sure. I suspect it's some South Florida. It's probably boats. It's
09, 2005.
it's Florida.
27 exposures. Let's expose what happened to Doug 18 years? No.
Hello.
Yeah, 18 years ago.
Hello.
Wow.
Flies.
I was just getting engaged and getting married in those days.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
There's something going on up there. I think I know what it is, but more importantly, Studio 2, The Beatles. Friday, February 9th, 2024, theater at Maria Weston Chapman. That's that new school we have. At the town hall on January 2nd. What a sad day to have a birthday. However, for Janet,
It's a great day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Janet. Happy birthday to you. How many
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Two elected officials and a chief of staff saying happy birthday.
In the